time it is!
I want to thank everyone for checking out the C-Squared Hour. I'm your host, Chris. And you are not dreaming, I am back. I felt bad making all my fans have to dig through all these other mediocre podcasts to find one as riveting as mine. So I came back with new technology. You're probably not gonna hear any of it. It's not gonna make a deal to you, but it's gonna make my life easier. So it's not gonna take 30 hours to record an episode. And let's be honest, as a true American, the most important thing in my life is convenience. I know a lot of you are probably worried that this was a break for rehab, and I'm, friends with Bill now and what have you. Don't worry. Do not worry. I am still well off the wagon. I'm on the train, if that's how it's... But I'm gonna be less open about the beer I'm drinking until someone starts paying me for it. If you want to know, you can ask. It's going to be the same one going forward. It's going to be my all-day, everyday beer. So if you hang out in person, you'll probably see me drinking it. But if you want to know, you have to ask. And if any of you beer companies, brewers, if you want to know, and if you want people to know, start paying me. That was awesome timing. God, if I wasn't such a moron, I probably would have planned that myself. That was just good luck. Well, my longtime fans, my longtime squareheads, yeah, I'm going to keep that going. Go fuck yourself. They are going to be asking, why is no one on the other microphone? By God, where is the other Chris? He has taken it upon himself to really, this is an undertaking. What he's doing, he is not. Let's just say, since he started it, he's got to finish it, and it's a process. He is going off, starting on major highways and rest stops, rest areas, and truck stops, with the hotels or the truck stops with the shower. Where truckers can spend some time while they need to stay off the road. Major travel plazas, if you will. He is going through, and he started with the rest areas, but he's going through he realized that it's going to have to go further than that. He is blocking off cell signals in all of these places. Designing, wow, it's a bit early for the wheels to be falling off, but here we go. Designing a device that blocks cell signals in whatever the fuck Walmart uses so you can't shop other places. You know how your cell signal sucks in Walmart, so you have to go on their Wi-Fi, but their Wi-Fi blocks every other fucking store. That's where he got the idea from. He has noticed that if you are taking a shit in one of these places, no one's looking up anymore. Everyone's just looking straight at their phones. And that has taken away from the for a good time call generation. From those people who still love... Craigslist tried it for a while, tried to help the random no picture hookup thing. Craigslist got shut down. All these Tinders and Grinders, and I'm not sure why that's the second one I went to, but all of these apps are taken away from pretty much the experience, and it's one of the reasons we're going straight downhill. If you want an anonymous hookup, you gotta have to earn it. You have to earn it. And so he's hoping that if you're at least on the highway and you can't get one of these, you really should have to earn a random nut. You shouldn't be allowed to hook up randomly as easy as it is right now. And that's where he's coming from. He needs he thinks for a good time call, the on the wall people, that needs to happen again. You should have to be rolling the dice every time you show up to a random house. You shouldn't be able to see a picture as soon as they walk in. It's nonsense. No, if you're gonna risk it, you're gonna risk it. And let's go back to analog with this. Let's go back to the rotary phone days. If you want to hook up with someone nearby, find a bathroom stall, find a quarter, find a payphone. So that's where he's been. Another thing I know you've all been questioning, and no, I have not forgotten. Randy, let's lace it up. Let's lace him up, buddy. I'm still willing to meet in the ring. I know celebrity boxing and stuff has always kind of been a bit of a joke thing, but I'm a joke too, so let's do it. There's new facilities opening up around my local area all the time, so there's plenty of places we can have this fight. Our fight needs to happen. We both know it does. People are clamoring for it. It's a great incentive for my fat ass to get in shape. Or I won't get in shape, and then you won't have an excuse when I put you on the map. But let's do it. The offer is still there, and it's not going anywhere. I wish I was able to blame my epilepsy for this long hiatus I took, when really the biggest thing was I tried stand-up and realized I'm better off just yelling at myself in a room instead of trying to get other people to enjoy my craziness. I wish I could blame the epilepsy, but I can't. Because it's not a real disability. No one ever gives a flying fuck when I tell them I have epilepsy. No one cares. I mean, maybe it's because I only tell them after I've had, 5 beers and a shot, but there's no sympathy. No one cares. And so, if I tell you, oh yeah, I had to take a break because of my no one would give a flying fuck. No one thinks I'm brave for coming out and doing this. No. You can eat your way into a good parking spot. Just chow down. Just Gilbert Grape's mom it. Just all the way to a good parking spot. I risk my life every time I walk under a shitty streetlight. Can I get a special parking spot? No, because I technically don't have a license. It's bullshit. Hey, maybe I took a break because I started following the WNBA closer. This might come off wrong, but I wish I was an alcoholic. I've seen alcoholics, I've seen alcoholism, I've been to enough of the... Don't ask me why, don't ask me how, but I've seen the meetings, and I wish I was an alcoholic. Look at the news these days, look at TV shows these days, look at social media. They basically say, everyone says, it's a disease. We're supposed to be compassionate to them, and they just have a problem. They can't help it. We gotta support them. We gotta help lift them up. Drug addicts are a different story. That's a whole different business. But yeah, alcoholics they're brave when they battle it. They have facilities all over the place for them. They do interventions for them. Drunks just get thrown out of Labor Day barbecues. And unfortunately, I'm the latter half. there's no rehab for the guy who gets a little too loud with his off-color jokes around 4-year-olds when he's had a few beverages. I don't know, maybe church, I don't know, maybe the Lord has something they can offer me. But being a drunk is worse than being an alcoholic, because there's no cure for being a drunk. Alcoholism, you have the 12 steps, you have support, you have sponsors, there's no cure for being a drunk. And, I mean, yeah, you could stop drinking, but have you ever hung out with someone who quit drinking, but not because they're an alcoholic, because they wanted to?
Nope.
Exactly, that is the worst kind of person I can think of. So, let's give drunks the same compassion we're starting to give alcoholics and addicts. Alright, we have our problems too. We need support. We need groups. We need some would say so some would say those groups are football tailgaters. Now, you see a lot of AA coins there. That doesn't count. Can you tell how shitty of an addict you are by whether your meetings give out coins or keychains? That's a high-level joke that only like 3% of my listeners are going to get, but the ones that get it are going to love it. One of the reasons I may have been less motivated isn't the world, less motivated is kind of the word, but I felt a little bit lost in this chosen hobby/career of mine. I assumed, since I was on the power slap train, since day one, I've been watching their Road to the Slappers, the Ultimate Slapper House. I've been watching all of that. I've been watching every one of their pay-per-views, even though they're on. I signed up for Rumble even before they started doing the Ultimate Slapper on Rumble. I thought with that sort of knowledge and that sort of expertise and being able to follow it that much, I thought maybe, just maybe, I would be the most vocal or successful power slap voice in the world. Then they sold tickets to an event. They didn't just let their friends and family in or Dana White's closest Vegas circle. No, they started selling tickets. Boy, was I wrong. Whew. You have presidential candidate at one of the events. You have comedians who are rich podcasters. You have pro athletes. You have professional wrestlers. Oh, by the way, since our last one, I went to a WWE event, and I'm going to an AEW event. So, haven't matured at all, just to let you know. But yeah, there's all these... Barkley was at the first one they sold tickets to. That's my one hope, my one real hope to, like, not really having to work hard and market this a lot and having... was to become the preeminent voice when it came to the power slap. And once that was quickly dashed, once that hope, I had the hope. It's like if I had that Obama hope poster and he lost the vote in a record landslide against McCain. That's how I feel. It's... maybe I feel like I deserve to be treated better, even though there's like 12 people who know how into power slap I am. All the events, I've been practicing being an analyst with the buddies while we watch it. We do the commentary, we do fake interviews. I've been practicing, but nope. Thought maybe I'd be like a C-level, quote-unquote, celebrity, like the C-level of people who are actually into it. But not a chance. And another thing that struck me is there is absolutely no way with how many people were there. Like, you saw a group of WWE people, and they were clearly watching it ironically like I do. But there's enough famous people who are into it who aren't watching it ironically, so obviously I'm not getting tapped for the job either. I mean, for that reason either. I thought maybe if I was the only one out there talking about the shit, it doesn't matter if I'm watching it ironically, they needed a... Nope, they're fine. A study came out, they said 80 or 90% of power slappers show brain damage. First of all, have you heard any of them talk? I would bet a good friend of mine's retirement money. I won't say which one, I don't know which one yet. I would bet their retirement money that of that 80%, 78% were already brain damaged before you start. And they might have, I just read the headline, but they didn't say what kind of brain damage. The amount of former meth and bath salt users you could tell are in this sport, there's a lot of variables that go into that number. Second of all, it is a sport that basically encourages just, let's see who gives CTE better. That's all it is. You're well, let's see what their neck for. No, you're hitting a guy to knock him out. That's the only thing. They can't defend themselves. I mean, how do you not get brain damage after even just practicing that shit? It doesn't make any sense to me. And do you really practice it, or do you just practice slapping a punching bag and then go in and hope your head stays on? I mean, not since Whitney Houston have we seen someone so defenseless against a beating. Because they're not allowed to. It really makes... And I don't mind saying this now, and I don't mind going on, because there's no way I'm going to be the voice of Power Slap, so I can really go in on what I think about it. I've said everything I thought about it before. So yeah, I'm no optometrist, but maybe that's why I was a little, I didn't feel motivated to do this. I don't know. Again, I as soon as I got new shit, I started doing it right away, but I do need to apologize to you. I know you missed my Olympic analysis, my Olympic coverage. We all know everyone loves when I covered the Olympics, so it all stunk. It's the fucking Olympics. Who gives a shit anymore? First of all, if these were anywhere near exciting or worth watching or any of those things, we wouldn't just watch every 4 years. We would watch all throughout. But, oh, you're a superstar in swimming. How does that... No one cares until... What, it will give you 3 years? In 3 years, we might give a shit about you? Oh, look at how good of a pole vaulter they are. You're gonna forget the fucking name by the time... Any sporting organization that is willing to have a third place game. I understand that you do it at youth levels because, I don't know, because you guarantee, you go to a tournament, you're guaranteed this many games no matter how shitty you are. But any high level sporting event that allows a third place game, well, they didn't make it to the gold medal game, so they're going to go play for the bronze. No, go home. You didn't win. Save getting some sort of fucking medal that doesn't matter until, I don't know, you join the Boy Scouts or something. As someone who bets horses, however, and watches shit like that, I don't necessarily mind giving awards for first, second, third place when it comes to like racing or, you know, high jump or pole vault. Yeah, give something to the top 3, that's fine, but anything that has a bronze medal game or a bronze medal match, go fuck yourself. If you have, and I'm including basketball in this. If you have a bronze medal match, you can't respect yourself as an organization. USA men's basketball probably shouldn't respect themselves because they're playing in that dog shit. They allowed a team to play in it. And again, if any of this was worth a shit, people would be watching all goddamn year. You would know the names of the third best swimmer in America. You would know who is battling for the third spot on the Olympic team for the relay. You would know all that, but you don't, because it's all bullshit, because no one cares. This is how we are basically, as Americans, we are basically telling Europe by continuing to patronize this nonsense. We're saying, okay, yes, we got better at all athletics than you did, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to break down the athletics so you only have to practice one thing. You don't have to practice a full sport. You don't have to practice. You can just practice jumping into sand. And if you could figure that out, you have a chance to win something. We're good people. We're trying to make Europeans feel better. That's all we're doing. That's the end of it. They say the hardest thing to do in sports is hit a baseball. Maybe that's why the rest of the world's dog shit at it. You know, except for the countries that we exploit and don't give any resources and things to, where all they have is a stick and a rock. Yeah, they learn pretty quick. And yes, I know, I've had this take on the Olympics before, and I'll have it again, but just remember where you stand. Just don't get too high and mighty when it comes to... You're gonna think you're a real athlete, minus the three of you who make money, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be broke, and you're gonna be a guest on my fucking show where, because I bought you a meal, you are willing to come on. Did we ever figure out if the Disney Black Diamond thing was a hoax or if it was real, or... I just don't remember hearing anything about it. Real quick, this is not going to go over well, and I might have already said it before, and I probably didn't feel very good when I said it before, but let's stop lifting up poor families. I don't mean in the government way, I don't mean all that. Yes, some people need hand, that's fine. But these GoFundMes that come out and say, well, he lost his job, and then 3 months later they found out they were pregnant with their fourth kid. Okay, well, sorry, but that shouldn't be our problem. Yeah, cancer or a Ponzi scheme. Yeah, okay, I'll listen to that, but we shouldn't excuse poor families. We can excuse poor people all they want, they didn't have a hand up, there's addiction, there's all that. But you know how not to be a family. That isn't a fucking mystery. That we know how families come around. So if you are barely scraping by with 2 kids and then you decide to have twins, that's kind of on you, dude. I don't think we should be forced to look at your begging and pleading online. I understand that's a little harsh, and I didn't say that in the best way, but I hope enough of you could see where I'm coming with that. It just seems like with social media and with everyone having access to the internet now, which is the worst idea ever, it seems like we are not... I'm trying to figure out how... There's not enough people calling people fucking morons in the right way. Yeah, there's a bunch of fucking douchebag online bullies. Yeah, those are out there. But there's not enough people looking someone in the face and saying, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You really think that's a good idea? You really think that you had no say in this? That doesn't happen anymore because you only speak to the people that will listen to your side or be on your side or whatever you want. And I know this is kind of a hack premise, and I know it's not exactly the same thing, though. Not everyone should have the internet, I guess is kind of what I'm saying. If you're somebody who thinks that having a fifth kid when you already don't have a job is worth a fundraiser, you shouldn't be allowed to have the internet. I mean, have the internet, but you shouldn't be able to have a voice on the internet. Coming from someone who probably has no business talking to everybody on the internet. But also, as an American, I'm a pretty big hypocrite. I'm going to stop talking about that because I know I'm only going down a hole that could lead to nowhere. Let's just say I would like people to be more selective when giving to these online charities, these online GoFundMe things. Yeah, a major car accident where a drunk had no insurance and filed bankruptcy, so he's not going to have to pay. Yeah, that's worth a handout. That's worth a giveaway. Well, it finally happened. We've been praying and we had our sixth kid. Unfortunately, we both got laid. You should have figured that out beforehand. You know how that works. Maybe one of those $1 billion churches or $1 million churches, whatever, who preach against the big A and the, I don't know, premarital and abortion. Maybe they should have to fork over some shekels for that. I really hope that saved that rant, because you see, I tried to save that for the middle because I thought maybe no one will be listening. What I forgot was, as I said before, I'm a drunk, so I'm going to say something that really pisses everybody off. And I'm not going to be able to say it in the right way, so even if I try to apologize for how shitty I just sounded, it's not going to come across well. But hey, I'm dusting the rust off too here, folks. It's not all just peaches and cherries or what? Well, I was off. I did watch this great documentary. It's not great. Oh, I found it on HBO, but I don't know if it was originally HBO or work. You don't know anymore. Everything's, who knows? Paramount Plus has, I don't know, Canadian shit, and who the fuck knows what goes on with the streaming thing. Anyway, found it on HBO. I forget the actual name of it, but the whole big thing was, it was a documentary about someone who the followers called her Mother God. And it was just like these 20 people who looked at this broad like she was the be-all and end-all of anything, and followed her in trailers and across the country, and they were being persecuted for their beliefs by the government, and she ended up passing away from cancer or alcoholism, or, you see, alcoholism. We should have been able to help her with that, right? She deserved a chance. No, she wasn't a drunk. She was truly an alcoholic, so, she had the problem. I believe documentaries have officially jumped the shark. Not everything needs a documentary. It just doesn't. HBO or whoever produced or made this documentary, I hate to break it, and this might be, you don't see this in New York and LA, Hollywood, and where all these, I'm gonna hate to break it to you, a braless mother of three getting hammered in trailers isn't that rare. And quite honestly, if you go to these fun trailer facilities, you go to the last town on this highway and head 20 miles south. When you go to places like that, you're gonna see a drunk mother of three without a bra getting followed around like she's fucking God. It's not maybe it's because they figured out how to use the internet and they kind of tried to do the social media thing with their posting. Maybe that's why it was a big deal, because they were the first ones to figure out how to show. But I hate to break this to you, HBO or whoever did it, that's not uncommon. The only cool part was there was 15 minutes of it where you figured out that, oh no, now that all these people thought she was a messiah, she just left her kids behind, and she died of alcoholism or some sort of cancer or whatever. I didn't pay too much attention. I'm giving you the Cliff Notes version of it, but this is all you need to know about it. She died with all these people around her, and they ended up keeping her body for 2 months until the authorities came and took it and arrested a couple of them because they froze her, hoping that she, I don't know, she got a lot of batshit people to follow her. And she died, and the way they tried to save her or to treat her illness is drinking some sort of silver thing and that is supposed to heal you. I think Alex Jones sells his own kind of silver whatever, and it's supposed to help you. It's supposed to kill all the bad shit. It's supposed to cure.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
But it obviously didn't work there. The question becomes, when you drink this silver, iodine, Tabasco, whatever, when you do that, and you still die, is there a way to, I don't know, go magnet fishing in the body for all the silver flakes? If there's, half an ounce of there, that's a good $8. That's another 240s for the next, Messiah. I had this epiphany a while ago, and it just kind of, it just recently, my brain was able to process it to say words about it, if that makes sense. It doesn't, but I'm a moron. The key to racial equality is not harmony, it's not unity, it's not all coming together as one. It's fear. We have to be afraid of the other races to truly come together. Let's look at the evidence. For example, when Italians came to New York, we kept them all in their one area until we realized, oh shit, they're doing some good business stuff, and we kind of like some of the shit, so we'll slowly let them in. Then we kept them at arm's length, and then they slowly kept getting in and into our culture, because if you didn't buy from them, they shot people. I don't know if that's how it started, but anyway, we were afraid of Italians, and that's why we slowly let them in our society, because we didn't want to piss them off. We slowly let them out of their neighborhoods. The Irish, same thing. We put them in all these neighborhoods, and then we saw what happened when they got drunk. And we said, basically, if we keep them there, and they get that drunk, they're going to fight their way out, so let's not let them fight. Let's just move them. Slowly let them move into all our other neighborhoods. The Germans. Well, we saw how Germans handle shit, so that's a no-brainer. Why aren't natives more try that one again. Why are natives not more, I would say, accepted and respected in sort of the public eye? They don't really seem to have much of a voice at Capitol Hill, which, kind of sucks. We kind of stole Capitol Hill from them. It's because we're not scared of them. The Italians, the Irish, the what have you, the Germans, they're not scared of them because, quite frankly, if we cough on them, they know what's up, so we just move them off to the side. And plus, I think the Native Americans have figured out the whole, we're going to get our money back one way or the other sort of thing. And so, fuck it, have your unity, have your equality, we're going to stay over here. and then just slowly take all your money and keep buying up the shit that you stole from us. That's probably why you can't throw natives into this theory. But it's fear. And that's the problem when it comes to blacks and African Americans. They've got such a raw deal coming into this country for years and years. And oh, let's not forget the Jews. We let them into society because they bought all the fucking banks and they control the weather. Which sucks. Apparently even Jewish people want global warming. But anyway, the blacks got such a raw deal. You know, we just threw them on and beat the living shit out of them until they... And now we're getting to the point where, and I think this is a good thing, I am more scared of a trashy looking white guy than I am a trashy looking black guy. It's happened. It's there. I haven't seen one Puerto Rican guy marching down the street with an AR-15 and being called a hero. Haven't seen that. You seen any of the pictures of January 6th? Not a single black guy jumping that wall trying to get pictures or whatever the fuck they were doing. I don't know. Wanting a tour during non-office hours. But that's the key to racial togetherness. It's not harmony, it's fear. Let's all be equally afraid of each other as we need to be, and that's how we become the melting pot. We know why we're scared of Italians. We know why we're scared of Irish. We know why we're scared of German. We know we found a way to be scared of white people. Just everyday garbage white people. We can be afraid of them now, and we have the evidence on why, and they're hitting the news harder than a lot of the other shitty crimes that they made up. I hope I didn't lose too many people on that racial rant there. I hope enough of the people I'm listening to know the difference between racial and racist. Racial is just that dumb rant I just made that means absolutely nothing to anything or anybody. Racist, if you come across real racism nowadays... I mean, who's come across real racism? It is rough. It is one of the weirdest things you can... You'll be at your buddy's house, you know, they're gonna, hey, let's get together for the game this weekend. And like, oh yeah, I invited my buddy from work. And then you say, oh yeah, where's James? I thought he was gonna be here. He's like, oh, he's running late. You know how those people are. Haha, and you all have a quick chuckle. Because James is only running late because he had to put his kid down for a nap before the wife came home. But since he's African American, there's the easy joke to make, and you all have a little chuckle, and you're gonna tell James the joke, and he's gonna laugh, and then that new guy from work, from the other side of the room says, yeah, that's why I made a petition to get them all out of my neighborhood. Whew. Now you're at a crossroads. You really don't know what to do at this point because you agree with the guy to avoid a fight. Then all of a sudden you're on his mailing list. He's going to come over. You're getting 4.5 memes from the Proud Boys or whatever whatever the new one is now. I don't think it's the Proud Boys anymore, but there's definitely a new one. If you're getting 4 of those a day, you agree with him. You know, if you disagree with him, you're in for a long fucking battle verbally that's gonna go nowhere and there's no fucking point to it. And B, I guarantee you, he has a gun within arm's reach or in his car if you're gonna say shit like that in front of strangers. So there's really no good way to get... Oh, you know what I always do? I just fake a seizure. Maybe there is a benefit to this epilepsy thing. Alright, well, I hope everyone enjoyed my triumphant, my mediocre, my terrible return to the podcasting game. Like I said, now that there's new technology and that this hasn't taken 40 fucking years to record, I'll probably keep doing this a little more regularly again. I'll get guests. Maybe Chris will come back into town. I'll get guests. So be on the lookout. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I didn't have a lot of guests, because I was so fucking embarrassed by how shitty my setup was. Oh, don't forget to buy shit. Still on Teespring, C Squared Hour. All the links are on my socials. My socials are still there. Share, like, subscribe. That's what I'm supposed to say, right? Yeah, buy shit, because, like I always say,
And once again, asking for your financial support.
if he could do it, why can't I? We're offering the same amount to society. Anyway, like, subscribe, buy shit, and there's nothing else, so I'll see you all next time.